The GROHE Grandera collection is a very expansive collection. It's our first, let's say, authentic product in our spa lineup. So it's a very important range for us, a very important collection. It's based on the design concept we call elegant classic. So we wanted to create an elegant collection of products, an elegant design, and we wanted it to have a classic feel, but we didn't want it just to be authentic, to be too traditional. So we wanted it to have an interesting aesthetic that would cross bandwidths. You know, how could it be contemporary in some context, and at the same time, in a different context, be more traditional? And so we've created a range, a collection with elements which allow us to dial up and down, let's say, the contemporary nature or the traditional nature of the range. It makes the product very approachable when the light rolls over the surfaces. It's not hard, it's very uniform, it's very elegant. It comes always from a stable base, and you can see that across all typologies. We've drawn inspiration from everything from the Eiffel Tower, from, I would say, timeless classic objects or buildings around the world, which you can see have similar things, the way they roll in. If you think of a lamp, the icon of a lamp, the way the icon tapers down, some of those forms really coordinate and, I would say, link to different product typologies, which are very comfortable, which are very known. And I think that's what makes this collection so interesting. You feel very comfortable around the collection. It almost feels like you've known the collection for some time. It's not polarizing. The main geometry, which I would say really controls the aesthetic, is a very simple piece of geometry. It's a hybrid piece. We've almost taken a circle and a square and we've combined them. And we call this a squircle. And basically, you can see it's almost like a square which has pillowed edges, which is almost on its way to transitioning from a square to a circle. And what that does, it takes away some of the rigidity of the square form, and just softens the form. So light reflects beautifully and rolls around the product. And that's incredibly consistent. We have that throughout the product. It's really a signature of the entire range, this squircle, from the rosettes to, let's say, the area around where the water exits the product. It's very, very consistent, very beautiful. And often on these areas, these intersections, we have areas where we can add bicolors and different finishes. So for example, we're introducing brushed nickel, chrome, and a bicolor which is chrome with gold. And that's because by dialing up the finishes in our consumer research, we've really found out that actually consumers respond in different parts of the world to different finishes and materials. So for example, perhaps in Asia and the Middle East, the bicolor with the gold, it's very decadent, has a real intrinsic quality, it's very beautiful. And in America, for example, brushed nickel is a very soft, matte finish, where you have a light, let's say, dusting of how the material is treated with this pulling effect of the material. Very, very beautiful, and very relevant for the US market. Then, of course, we have chrome, which is still a most popular finish. We have a collection which I think is very appealing, and it's appealing to not just, let's say, a global market, but with the details, it feels local, it feels like it's been created individually also. And I think that's the clever concept behind the Grandera collection. We wanted to create a collection, again, based on our experience in the past, architects, designers, interior designers, and consumers really wanting and having very different needs, but wanting to have consistency across every single draw point. So for this range, because we're looking at the entire experience, the entire solution across all of the areas of the bathroom, we've introduced, instead of glass, white ceramics into the accessory collection. And that gives this a very beautiful, I think, luxury feel to the collection. The ceramic links into other areas, of course, in the bathroom, such as the bathtub itself or sinks. And so I think that coordination will bring things even tighter together. The Grandera collection will be launched in a new material for GROHE. It's a hybrid alloy that we've created. And the benefit for us of having our own factories and our own foundries means really we can explore new alloys and we can reduce materials. And in this case, GROHE Zero, we're looking at a lead-free product, which has many, of course, benefits. You know, I would say benefits with let's say, regards to drinking water, benefits with regards to corrosion in the product, how long the product lasts. But having these kind of performance-enhancing alloys and the improvement really is coming from the fact that we do have our own factories. We are making this in Germany in our factory, and we can control every single element, from the design to the engineering, and of course right through to the manufacture, and even now to the materials that we use and select to produce our products. What we found really interesting in our consumer research and understanding in hotels and within architecture what's happening, I think you can start to see in things like the Condé Nast Traveller, for example, which have let's say a list of their top 500 hotels around the world. And actually, when we were looking through and doing our research, we quickly established that more than 75% of the hotels within the Condé Nast Traveller Guide would be relevant for a product like this, an aesthetic like this. And so what we wanted to do was take that kind of insight, take that potential, but really deliver a range which, again, would communicate the values of Grohe, the brand, but at the same time deliver a fresh aesthetic, a fresh design direction.